Let's start with the Sentient Hat Trick Challenge. Look at the champions. So we have, with the Sentient, 3 different upgrade paths like all the others. We have the Explosive, which is more of a burst-oriented Sentient setup with the least amount of HP. So you have Text, Rejuvenate, deal 60 damage to the front enemy unit. That's off of the actual Rejuvenation Restore triggers, and then as well the Regen triggers at the end of the turn. You have Cultivating, which is Revenge, draw 1. It has the highest amount of health, but it doesn't really have any offensive capabilities unless you somehow add them yourself. And then you have Bristling, which is spikes-oriented build with 40 spikes and a slightly higher health total than the Rejuvenation Sentient. And this is mostly then used, Bristling is mostly used for backline clear and for relentless combat. The Rejuvenation Explosive can also be for relentless combat, but it's primarily to burst front enemy units. So then we got to think about which setups are going to best take advantage of the Sentient, the Awoken clan in general, across 3 different runs. Starting with Hellhorn. So what would Hellhorn bring to the table? Hellhorn would bring Imps, Rage, and let's look at cards. We would get Imps, Rage, and Armor. Armor is kind of doesn't really synergize too well with Regen. Typically you want one or the other, but not both. Imps could be valuable, and Rage could be valuable for certain units that we can get, like the Animus. So both Animus would benefit from Rage. Could benefit also from Armor. You have, I would say, pretty mediocre units on average compared to the other clans. Unless you specifically get Gurg's Goad, then the units become much better. I don't know that Rage is going to fit, and the problem with Rage is that we can't rely on Rage for multiple decks. And I think the Armor itself does not really fit too well with the Awoken. So I think 3 runs with Hellhorn is going to be rather tricky. So then let's go to Stygian Guard. Stygian Guard, what would Stygian Guard give us? Stygian Guard would give us Incanters, which could be pretty good. You can have the Sentient plus a couple of Incanters on the same floor, take advantage of all of the regen application. That seems pretty good. Titan Sentry fits the same mold as the Sentient in that it's a tank that does AoE, or not AoE. Well, it does AoE, but it mostly does backline kills. However, with Rejuvenation, it could work rather well because then the Sentient isn't being used to kill backliners. So you could combine the Titan Sentry with Explosive, and that could be pretty good. The draw certainly fits really well with the Sentient, or sorry, with the Stygian Guard, because you want to draw a lot and incant a lot. So you could do an incant build with Cultivating in order to draw lots and lots of spells, which then you can play for cheap and take advantage of all of the draw to get a lot of incants. That's one possible way we could play it out. So I would say that's certainly a valid option here. You'd have a good mix of incant builds, you'd have a mix of frostbite builds, you'd have a mix of just pure spike and damage builds. Could be really good. And then Umbra. Gorge is a little bit weird. You certainly don't want damage shield necessarily. Damage shield also kind of doesn't fit with regen. Gorge can work. You'd have a floor with the Sentient, and then you'd have a floor with Gorgers on a separate floor. Regen and Lifesteal isn't particularly good together. Regen, and although Lifesteal does get valuable when you're talking about things like the Awoken Hollow and the Thorned Hollow, because the Lifesteal will actually create a Rejuvenation trigger. Same with the Sentient. When you do Explosive, it does create a trigger, so that's something to think about. High cost spells don't really fit well because a lot of time. Well, I guess you could do it with without using cultivating, but cultivating usually want a lot of spells. But cultivating could also be really good, for example, to get things like Perils of Production, the Ember Drain package out, or to consistently get morsel generation. So you could do that. You could do cultivating with a morsel deck, so you get all of your morsel generating cards in your hand every time, and then be able to use them effectively. That could be really good. Melting Remnant. Melting Remnant would add your reforms. Reforms are okay with the animuses. They're pretty bad with the hollows, and they're pretty bad with the sentient. But I mean, the Melting Remnant also has really solid units. What else do you get out of this? Stealth. Stealth doesn't really fit because you don't want units to die. Harvest becomes difficult because you tank with the sentient, and then you don't take advantage of any units dying on your side to take advantage of like harvest. I think it doesn't fit too well. So then for me, it's between Umbra and Stygian Guard. And we got to think, what's going to be more consistent? Is it going to be Gorge? I kind of think it's Stygian Guard, and the main reason I think it's Stygian Guard is because we can take Foregone Powers, which out of the 4 standard cards seems like it would be the best one to start with. It's certainly not going to be Plink, and I don't think it is Frozen Lance either. So then it's between, do we think we're going to get more value out of Shade Splitter across all the runs, or do we think we're going to get more value out of Foregone Power? And I think it's Foregone Power. And then we get Incanters, we get maybe a spell damage oriented deck, or we just go all in on regen spikes for 2 runs, and then we do an incant build for the cultivating. It seems like that could work pretty well. So if we look at it, so then we do cultivating. We try to get this one out there first. We take advantage of all the draw to get a massive incant floor. We could even have the sentient on its own floor, just by itself, just to be there to draw with, and then have a separate floor where we're incanting like crazy. That could be a good setup. And then we can get something like 1 Sharpen to add spikes, so that it's killing backliners at the same time it's drawing a whole bunch. We don't worry about keeping the sentient alive. We just use it as a draw mechanic, and then we have a massive incant floor. That could be a really good setup. Then we have an explosive where we just need 1 really strong unit to either tank or to go behind the explosive sentient. Or actually, no, we need something that kills backliners. We take a sweep unit. You can take like a Cold Celia or a Icy Silophyte. So we could do a damage-oriented build here, either a Frostbite or a spell damage-oriented build. Take advantage of that for the AoE. Or even a Titan Sentry to go in front of the sentient to kill backliners, and then we use the restores to kill the frontliners and for relentless combat. And then with Bristling, we just need a heavy damage dealer to sit behind the sentient. The sentient blocks all the damage, hits with the spikes, and then, yeah, it seems like a pretty good set of 3 there. Okay, so we'll try it. Oh, very true. There's also Sweepers and Awoken. That's right. The other thing that would have been nice about Umbra, even though we're not going to go Umbra, would be that with Umbra you could get Trample, and then you could get Sweep plus Trample. But I don't think building the entire deck around 1 card that we can only take 1 time makes sense when we're trying to do a hat trick challenge. Okay, so this seems like a good setup. We definitely want Foregone Power over Frozen Lance. Let's give it a try. Okay, this already seems like a clear explosive. Yeah. When you have that much regen, you take explosive. Extra HP, or I think it's apply frozen to a random card in your hand. Yeah, I think that's right. Then we can keep cards moving in. I don't think we need the health as much. It's only 3 plus health. And we really want here with a... So we want a Titan Sentry for this one, or a sweep unit to kill the backliners while the Sentient is killing the frontliners with the rejuvenation triggers. I think Spikes is fine, because we have a Sentient that is not going to be attacking frontliners. I'm going to play in the top lane. In the top... yeah, what am I trying to say here? I'm going to play in the top floor, even if it's less space, because I want to have plenty of time. Let's get a Train Steward behind. Play this out. I'm going to hopefully keep the Restore. Yeah, we'll keep the Restore for next turn, so that we can burst this guy out. And then get you on the bottom. We can try to get a couple foregone powers on you. Just need... Oh, wow. There's all the restores. 1, 2. And I think we want the Wildwood Sap. And then we have the Awake for... well, we probably can't play the Awake, but do it like that. And I think we're okay to use a foregone power here. We just need a couple more... Oh, we're still winning. We're good. And with this, it'll even lower it even more. Okay, good. That worked out really well. So again, you can see clearly there we needed some type of backline access. Engraft is... This is the deck for Engraft if we're going to do it. I don't think I want any of these now. I want Offering Token for when we have the Cultivating. So we'll save it for then. I don't think we need it for this build. So we want... There's 2 Sweepers and Titan Sentry. There's 2 Sweepers here. I think we want the banner from here. There's Titan Sentry. Okay, so we put Titan Sentry up front. We stack... Oh, this is going to be an interesting one, though, because we stack regen. I think we do spikes on it, and what we want is endless. But if we can't get endless, I'm okay doing a large stone on him, and then giving him spikes as well. Now he's like the ultimate backline killer. And then we have the Sentient to get all the regen with. We can also use a Wake on Titan Sentry to just heal him back up. Yeah, so I think we have a lot of opportunities here. Unit draft. With armor. How easy is it going to be to burst through the armor? The sweep is going to be fine. Relentless combat's going to be a piece of cake. It's really the getting through the armor, because that represents 55 health. So we have to get 3 triggers, but we have to get 3 triggers anyway. I think it's okay. We're going to split the floors for this particular one so that we can get the Frostbite early. And then, well, hold on. We're going to kill all of them. They're going to have 3... Yeah. We're going to kill all of them. If we do this, they just die. You're going to do 40. You're going to take... We need to use this to kill you. There we go. So then you're all gonna die next turn, which is really good news. We can put you up top, use you here to burst out the front unit, use foregone power, and we can save this one for later. Very cool. Worked out really well. So then we can let's try to keep the Engraft in hand. Toss you up there, give you more regen. More regen, and we play this out so we can keep the Engraft. It's a free incant trigger. So we incant. These energy siphons are pretty bad. I'm almost thinking that we toss them out pretty early. Don't want any of this. Yeah, I don't think we want any of this. We want, instead, save these for future runs. I also don't want any of this. I want most of the damage spells for the incant deck. Yeah, we're certainly not taking any of these. All of these are going to be useful in future decks. I think we have what we need. We just need more regen. We need a cheaper Awakes. And potentially a sweep unit. But let's see how we're going to set it up. Let's go left again. Although we could duplicate right now the Wildwood Sap. But I think an artifact could be really valuable for us. Spells gain an extra upgrade slot could be interesting, because we're not going to be upgrading any more units. I don't think we're going to get X cost cards. Would we take... Oh, this is actually interesting. Would we take with this deck Sap and... You know, I would take it. If we got any, either Spike, I would take them here. We're going to skip. We want both of those later for incant decks. Now this is interesting. With the Awoken's Rail Spike, or sorry, with the first Hell Pact, Rail Spikes are good as targeted damage. They are going to clog up the deck a little bit, but I think they're still okay. As long as we can get to our regen, and we're going to be taking draw in both upgrades. Okay, we're going to play up in the top lane. Top floor. We're gonna hold on. Sorry about that. We're gonna restart this battle. We just put them in the wrong order. I was already like 2 steps ahead. I mean, it just means I wouldn't have taken it, but I'm glad that I took it. Either one of these are good to save for later. Let's kill off one of these now to save damage. Yeah, so Engraft is fine. It means it's a free incant trigger later. Let's get you down, so you get you out. We can put Energy Siphon on you. That already represents 100 damage. But let's get a couple of them now. You know what? Let's not. Let's play the other ones directly onto him in the future. Get more of those going. We can do Engraft, and then Awake, and then get a Foregone Power on him. That seems really good. Restore. Get you out here. And I think it's a Foregone Power on one of you guys. We can do it. We can split them. Do we need to, though? Maybe we keep this other Foregone Power for later. I mean, we're going to kill everything because of the AoE that we're getting out of this. Wildwood Sap. And let's just keep these in hand. We'll take 2 damage. Not bad. 2 damage all the way up until Daedalus is like really, really good. Okay, so we should be getting the first Hell Pact soon. I think it's in one of our next draw, or yeah, sorry, not first Hell Pact, the automated Rail Spikes. That's going to represent at least 60 damage multiplied by whatever, which is pretty good. Let's get more damage there, and we can start dumping those onto this fool. Try to kill him before he reaches us. Play this out. Please don't hit the Engraft. Thank you. Excellent. We save Engraft for next turn. And there's the Rail Spikes doing an insane amount of damage. We do this. And you know what? Let's just play out all of our... Yeah, this is better. And then we just Rail Spikes. Cool. Do we want Ancient Synergy? Because we do have spell weakness. And we have a lot of spells now. But maybe we can just take advantage of the damage from the automatic rail spikes. And that is our way that we use energy siphons. I certainly don't want spreading spores in this deck. I don't think it's necessary. We already have we have enough regen, especially if we can make the awake 1 cost and duplicate it. And actually we can make it. Oh no, we didn't take this spell. We took First Hell Pact instead. I think we skip here. The one nice thing about spreading spores would be that we can use it for Seraph the Diligent. I think we do actually take it. I don't want Vine Mother now. I want that for later. Skip. And we want draw. So 2-unit deck. Oh, whoops, sorry. 2-unit deck. Let's get removal. We can remove 2 Train Stewards. And we can start working on our spells. What's the priority? Getting an Engraft to be free is pretty good. Plus 20 and consume. I think we don't take that. Let's re-roll. Remove consume. I don't think we need to remove consume from those. I'd rather just get awake to be cheaper. Or is it spreading spores? Spreading spores might be better to upgrade first. Plus 10 onto an Engraft. Seems pretty good. Then we can use it on, we can choose to use it instead on the Titan Sentry to just heal him if we need to. Yeah. This should be okay. I'm not even convinced that the Titan Sentry needs to be alive during the relentless combats. We're still going to play up on the top floor. And we wanted to play the automatic rail spikes now. Do we though? That's like 60 damage right now we could just do to you. I think we just do that. Keep a foregone power for later. We can just outright wreck this fool. I think that's valuable. Let's do that. Although we could stack 1, 2, 3 regen now. Get this back and do 40 damage instantly. Or pick off this backliner instead. If we're going to do that, we can play this just to get out of the hand and then kill this backliner. Because I do want to get the 4 of them. You should be dying to... Yeah, we're good. So we can do regen. Let's stack these onto you. So we can rail spikes you if we need to. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Let's get spreading spores onto you, maybe? We can do it like this. And... Okay, I was hoping we'd keep the awake, but it's fine. There's the rail spikes. How much do we need out of it? You have 2, so we only have to do 1 ember. 1 ember is enough. So we put rail spikes on you. We blast this fool. We rail spikes you. And then we could put this on him. I don't know how likely it is we get another rail spikes. Let's just keep it in hand. Or, okay, another foregone power is fine. Okay. We have the rail spikes. Go 1, 2. I think we want to rail spikes one of them to save us damage. We can play you out here. Rail spikes you. You're still dying. And then let's start stacking. Yeah, this is fine. We keep the Awake. We can use the Awake on the Titan Sentry now. How many rail spikes do we have? We have, I think, 4 already. Oh, we have 5 rail spikes. Okay, we're not gonna use rail spikes again. We'll use it on him just to get some damage out. But I really want this Engraph to stay in hand. Okay. Pretty good chance. Yeah. Good. We should be good. Yeah, we have plenty of damage. Don't know why I did that. Didn't really need to, but yeah, we're good. Stack all that Frostbite, and then we start blasting him with explosive triggers. Don't think we need this. I'd rather just take the coins. Another Awake? I'd rather duplicate the Awake after I minus the cost of it, though. So let's... Oh, Wildwood Custodian. No, I think we don't try to fit it. Let's just do it like this. And we don't want Daze. We don't want Sap, because we actually want them to hit us. Okay, so now all of our Rail Spikes get plus 10 magic power. And I want to remove... Do I want to remove Consume? No, I think actually they're great to consume, because they are ways to get rid of cards for Seraph the Diligent. So I think we have a really good setup here. I do wish... Do you want to remove and duplicate? I think I'd like to duplicate a Wildwood Sap. Because we don't have that many Wildwood Saps right now. We can get rid of another 2 Train Stewards and take a Cavern Event. A Minor Refraction. That's interesting. We can fit another unit there, or you know what, we should dupe him. We might as well. If we dupe him, how many dupes do we have left? I think just 1. So we dupe him on the last floor. We take spell upgrades here, and then we dupe him. Because having 2 Titan Sentries is going to be amazing for the Relentless combat with Seraph. To get all that Frostbite stacks on him, all the Frostbite stacks on him. Spell weakness should be okay. Biggest issue is going to be killing the backliner because all these guys end up going in front. Doesn't really matter. We save these for another unit. So now the question is, I think we still just stack all of this on you. And I really want to do double rail spikes on you. We can kill off one of them now. Doesn't really make sense though. We want them to attack with low damage. Okay, Energy Siphon, rail spikes kills you off. Does it kill you off? It kills you off. I think it kills him off if we even use the Awake. But I'd actually just rather use a Wildwood Sap. We don't need Awake right now. We need Awake to be 1 cost though. We can stack onto you. Let's just stack all the regen. I don't like... Restore is scary. I think we just make sure you're dying. We can start using rail spikes onto you guys. A little bit nervous. Let's do a restore on you. And also the Engraph. And then I think we're okay to do 1 there. We can't fit another yet. Rail spike this fool. Now he has no... Doesn't really matter because we have no more rail spikes. But he has no defense now. Let's keep it like this. Continue adding regen. Blast them. Blast them. Now they're all dying. I guess we can put this on you, doesn't really matter. And we kind of want this front dude to die before he reaches us. That should be enough to kill him. And we want to hold over a restore trigger if we can. So we do this, this. We're guaranteed to hold over a restore for next turn. We should already be fine. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Pyre Grow. Do we want Pyre Grow? I don't think so. I think we want to save Pyre Grow as a potential card to pick up with the Cultivating. Urchin Spines is also very interesting. It really depends on whether we think we need... so if we get more spell weakness onto Seraph the Diligent, we can stack all the spell weakness and then do a really massive rail spikes on him. I mean, 60. It's going to be a potentially 70 damage rail spikes. A 70 damage rail spikes with enough spell weakness could be really, really strong. If we have something like 10 spell weakness across, that's 770 damage onto Seraph. But then we permanently lose Urchin Spines. I think it's still probably worth it. Alright, we're going spell upgrades. We have lots of money to use as well. -1 to Awake. Another Permafrost. I don't know that we need Permafrost. We get it naturally anyway. I mean, we could put it on, like, Spreading Spores or Energy Siphon. So we just keep the Energy Siphons until we need them. We could use this on, like, one of these and then remove Consume. I don't know. Nanazora. Look, I don't have infinite names in my brain. I gotta deal with what I can. I think we do... I don't think we want to double stack Spreading Spores. I think we could double stack one Wildwood Sap. And I want Awake to be 1 cost. Or Spreading Spores to be 0 cost. Plus 10. I think we need extra damage onto one of those. We can start removing cards. We want to remove... I mean, I'm tempted to remove every Foregone Power. Because I just don't think that they're particularly great with this deck. Actually like that. Let's start removing Foregone Powers. At least we don't need as many as we have. Because they discard cards, we'd rather be able to just play cards. Check out the Concealed Cavern event. I don't want Bone Dog's Favor. We don't really need that much Pyre health. I'd rather just purge out another Foregone Power. This will give us much more consistent regen and spell weakness. And then we can kill off units with early units, saving damage onto our... Titan Sentry, so he's not taking quite as much damage. This is an interesting one. I think we might end up playing on the bottom just to guarantee... Yeah, I think it makes sense. We just guarantee that units aren't killing us. Let's, since everything's dying anyway, let's just hit you with a massive... you know what, let's save it. We can save quite a bit of damage right now. Let's do Urchin Spines. And I think here, just double Wildwood Sap, get that rolling. We can kill this thing, and I want to save one of these to hit Fell with once we get a lot of spell weakness on her. Restore. We can use this to save damage. We probably should. How many do we have left? We have one more Rail Spike. No, we have two more because we discarded one. There we go. Doesn't really matter. They're all dying. Come back down. Alright, this might be the turn for us to do a big Rail Spikes. Well, now I don't know, because we definitely want to get this out. Then we can engraft to get the Awake out. Then we can use this to... what, do nothing? Hit you for a lot. Alright, we have one more Rail Spikes to use, and we'll use it for its full value once we get to that. Okay, well, we'll use it for a lot of value. This is a 300 damage Rail Spikes. That's fine. Give you Spreading Spores. And yeah, you're gonna die. You guys should... you're not dying. This is no good. We're gonna take some damage to the Pyre. Because we can't kill these guys. We have no actual damage once our Rail Spikes are gone. Let's heal you up. Get an Awake out. And then restore. We're actually doing 50 damage to Fell there. That's pretty good. Foregone Power. It's gonna at least get him down pretty low. Double Spreading Spores. Restore. And that's all we can do. We'll take 3 hits from you, we'll take 1 hit from you, so that's 24 damage in total. Not great, but it's fine. And here we should be absolutely fine. Get that. We can use Awake on you to keep you around longer. And then we can double Restore as well. And Foregone Power. Cool. Yes, so it still minuses 2 costs to cards, and it works on X costs. So if you get it, okay, this is actually really good. It gets a lot of Frostbite onto Seraph. I think we take 1 Ember cost. Because we're not able to play out all of our cards is the problem. Yeah, so you can get Awoken's Rail Spike. It still minuses 2 to the cost, and it works. Yeah, exactly. So it works on X cost. I think that's really cool. I think was not a needed change, but I think it's a really good change. I mean, it depends. You don't always have so many X cost cards. We'll get rid of this one. I think, honestly, I kind of think we get rid of the Urchin Spines. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to save it for another future run. Because I still think we're getting a lot of value out of it. I'm even considering getting rid of these energy siphons as well. Yeah, let's do it. What do we get? Random Awoken card. Rare Awoken card. Don't need Adaptive Mutation. That just instantly kills our Sentient. And what do we get? Holdover. We could make a 0 cost restore that we hold over. I don't think it's Awake. If we could remove If we could remove the consume from the Spike of the Stygian, I would love to hold it over. In fact, if we can remove... Okay, we can't. Let's minus cost on a restore. Oh no, let's minus cost on this Wildwood Sap, make it easier to play. And then let's permafrost the Spike of the Stygian to keep it for when we want it. Which would be right before Relentless. Cool. I think this deck looks good. Armor. Armor's a bit scary. But I think it's okay. We can... Oh, it's not as scary, because we can still pick off the backliners with the rail spikes. We're still going to play up on the top floor, so it gives us plenty of time to stack regen. And we get Wildwood Sap. We don't even need that much, so we just double this and then get rid of the backliner. Easy. That almost kills you outright. I almost wonder if that's worth it. I think we still want to stack just lots and lots of... You know, let's keep that one for next turn. So we can try to burst through, and let's just hit you for a lot. A little bit nervous about whether we can get through all these units. Okay, one rail spikes on... Maybe we're okay getting multi-strike, getting hit with multi-strike. So if that case, we just do that and that. Because we can always do an awake on the Titan Sentry to keep it alive later. That, 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 that. Spell weakness, rail spikes. Kills him. And then it kills the backliner as well. Works out really well. This is when an awake would be very useful, so we can use it on you. Keep you around a while. Then we... Do we just accept this damage? This is 25 spell weakness plus a massive amount of sap. It saves us a lot of damage, and I don't think we need it for the boss. So he'll hit us one time. He'll hit us for 4 damage, which is certainly better than the amount of damage he's going to do to us. And we should be able to easily kill this guy. Does this prevent... No, it's good, because he'll take 8 damage, then he'll hit him for... Yeah, that's right. So that all works out. Math works out. Awake on you. Bring you back up to almost full health. I'm also okay in grafting. Let's save the restore. Okay. Spreading spores. Restore, 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 restore. Energy siphon. Good thing we had all those restores. Because, oh wow, he's doing a lot of. He would do a lot of damage to our fire right now. That got really close. A lot closer than I was thinking it was gonna get. Skip and skip. Yeah, and skip. So we duplicate the Titan Sentry. Even though we're getting spell upgrades? Oh, that's brutal. Because we never did get a... Oh, no. We're good. We have all the spell upgrades we want. We really... Like, that extra Titan Sentry is going to be so valuable for us during the Relentless combat. Spikes deal extra damage is okay. And let's re-roll. And we don't need units cost -2. Definitely, when a consumed card is played, deal damage to the front enemy unit. That's going to be really, really good. We can't afford any upgrades. We can't afford any removal. So we're good. Let's do it. I think we have a good setup here. We'll get a lot of Frostbite onto Seraph. We'll be able to sap him just before the combat, so we're going to get a lot more hits out of things. We're going to still play up on the top. Like this. We're going to use this now. This also does damages the front enemy unit. And then we freeze one of the restores for later. Okay. Wildwood Sap. Kills the front unit. I'm going to just take this. I don't really care. I'm going to do that. I like getting Spreading Spores in there. I like killing you off. We can start stacking this. Or we just have it permafrosted. And then we just never play it. Just let it get out of our draw pile permanently. Want to play this. And this. And I think we want to kill you. We can permafrost one of them for when we need it. We certainly don't need it right now. Ah, these guys. Keep coming in. Alright. Let's get back into it. So, we have automatic rail spikes we can use. We could stop a lot of damage right now. I think we want to stop 15 damage. This is only 10 damage. Let's do this here. Then we engraft. And then we awake. Do we do awake on you? Maybe it's better to do awake, but we really want to get this stacked up. Hopefully we find another way to get health onto our buddy here. Engraft will certainly help that. Let's do Wildwood Sap. Engraft. How much do you need? You need 40. 1, 2, 3. I can start playing Spreading Spores on him. Because keeping him alive longer is also really, really good. Okay, this is problematic. We have... What do we have to get rid of? We have Spreading Spores. Rail spikes here. No, we're Spreading Spores. Okay, you're gonna die. That's unfortunate, but that's life. Rail spikes you. Hold on. We're gonna restart this because I think I made the mistake when I didn't awake him earlier. I actually like the idea of trying to get as much regen as we can on the Titan Sentry, because we don't need that much regen. We just need enough that I would say like 20 regen on the Sentient would be 1200 damage. With all the Frostbite, we should be just fine. So rather than stacking it all immediately onto the Sentient, I think we... Are we okay with one of them consuming? No, I don't think so. I think we still just want to do this. Don't get any garbage in the deck. So let's Wildwood Sap you. Get you in there. Spreading Spores. Plus then the spikes get more value. Restore. Let's not take damage we don't need to. Blast you, and then we keep the energy siphon. Okay. Play you out. Get rid of the Vengeful Shard. Kill you and you. And we hold. We should get some regen on this guy. Maybe we use the Awake on him. This is an unfortunate turn. Let's rail spikes you. Then we can engraft you and get an Awake, so we have some damage coming out. Wildwood Sap. Spreading Spores. One restore should be enough. Then we engraft. Restore. Get rid of this. It's getting a lot of Frostbite already onto Seraph. But not a lot. It's getting some Frostbite onto Seraph already, which is good. Get rid of you. Play Spreading Spores. And then regen. Get rid of you. Okay. That was less good. Spreading Spores. Get Awake out there. I think we want to restore here to get a lot more damage onto the backliner, because he's getting a little scary. Gonna take 2 hits. Okay, we cannot afford any more hits. So, what are we gonna do? Let's get rid of this. We can restore. Restore. 120. We can take 2 hits. Let's get rid of this. Okay, we have to kill everything here, or we lose. So, Spreading Spores. Get rid of you. Restore. Engraft. Damn it, we're not killing him. I don't want to use this, but I have to in order to kill him. Well, it is what it is. How are we doing? Not nearly well enough. Holy cow. Okay, we got really close. Let's do it one more time. I think we need to save the rail spikes to only kill off purifiers, because they're the hardest part. When there's no purifiers, we're fine. Also, I'm also thinking we just get rid of Energy Siphon now. Put it on you. Then, if there's a purifier, we rail spikes. But let's get everything else out first. Get you in there. Spreading Spores, restore, Wildwood Sap, get rid of this, and then get rid of you. Okay, so we want at least one Wildwood Sap on you. Prevents a lot of damage. And we just rail spikes this guy down here. That's it. Okay. It's good enough. We'll take 10 damage. which is better than we did last time. Last time we had a lot more damage off of that. Okay, so now there is no unit to hit that with. I don't want to play the rail spikes. We'll get rid of something else. Probably just a standard restore is good enough to get rid of. This kills you. Stack regen, and we hold this automatic rail spikes for when we actually need it. Like right now. Okay, Wildwood Sap. Spreading Spores. We should do this to get him down. Pop this on you. Alright, we gotta make sure you're living. Which should be reasonable here. Spreading Spores. There's no garbage units. Spreading Spores. Now you're already living. 1, 2, 3. Does this make a difference? It does make sure you're dying. And then you're gonna hit us. 29 puts you at. Is it below 160? So yeah, you'll get below 160, so you'll do 40 damage to us. Okay. Okay, there's the garbage unit spreading spores. And then we need to do restore. Another restore puts you down to where the backliner is going to get hit pretty hard. We awake. You're going to get not that much. 70. 6. 2 hits. I think we'll take 20 damage here. Definitely need to keep you nice and frosty there. Kill you off. Yeah, 2 hits. Okay, this is where we might need to go a little bit more intense with the regens. Okay, this we need on you. And then we engraft. 43 damage. Oh, let me do the math here. 43 damage is going to be... I think it's 3 hits because he's going to have so much frostbite. He's going to get an extra 12. So he's going to have 15. You're taking 55 average damage. Should be about 3 hits. Yeah, it's 3 hits. Can we afford 3 hits right here? Versus if I pop twice onto the Sentient now. If I restart, if I pop 2 on the Sentient now, that's going to do 120 damage, so you're going to die, and then we'll do an extra set of damage to you then. What are we going to draw? We're going to draw Spreading Spores. We can afford him to do 1 damage. I think we need to do this just to keep this going. And I almost wonder if we do this now. No, we still wait. We could do this now. No. I'd much rather if we can use it on Seraph, let's use it on Seraph. Okay, that was 3 hits. I miscalculated. But we should be able to get this guy killed. So we do Spreading Spores. Does 30. This instantly kills him. 2 hits is enough. Play Spreading Spores. Get you guys... You know what? Let's just play this now. Give him a huge amount of frostbite. And we should be in a much better shape now. Yeah, we're actually killing him. Okay. Play that out. And I think just extra regen. Okay. Oh. Tough first fight, but we were very, very conservative with cards that we took. That's one down. That's basically all of our regen, so we have no real regen for the rest of the run. I forgot this was doubled. Spikes were actually doing a lot of damage there. Let's take a look at our deck. So, let's get a copy of this. Oh, you know what I never did? I'm going to do this really quick before we jump into the next run. I never took a copy of the... whoops, not logbook. Run history. I never took a copy of the final Hellhorned run here. So that I could post it into the Discord. Let me do that really quick. This is the run 3 of the Hellhorned run. And then let's get the one from the most recent run. So it ended up working really well. So we did basically what we said in the beginning, which was we get a unit that can kill the backline. That was the Titan Sentry. And then we have the Sentient doing all the burst damage. And the rail spikes ended up being really valuable for us, mostly for clearing out the garbage unit. It was our targeted damage in the end.